Hello and welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. Now yesterday we drew 2-2 to Swansea and here are the 5 things we learnt. Point number 1, Diego Costa is back to his best. Yesterday I think was one of the finest 90 minutes we've seen from Diego in a long time. He was at it right from the beginning. The Swansea defenders didn't know how to handle him and as a result he was drawing lots of fouls, lots of free kicks for his team, putting in the hard yards as well as doing the business when it comes to scoring the goals. His first goal was absolutely sublime. I mean, Oscar's assist for starters was brilliant. The way he took that out of the air and laid it onto Diego, and then the confidence that his first time finish showed was brilliant. And at that point I really thought we was going to kick on and go on to give Swansea a bit of a hiding as we have done in previous seasons. Diego Costa loves scoring against Swansea, by the way. I think that was his 5th goal in 3 games against them. But, you know, we got ourselves into trouble and we had to rely on Diego for a late goal, equaliser again. We're relying on him too often at the moment, and I think he's going to need some more support as the season goes on. Let's talk about that equalising goal, by the way. What a bicycle kick. And any of you out there, I know it won't be you lot, but any of the wider non-Chelsea fans out there that think that Diego Costa's bicycle kick should have been disallowed for high feet, you can just go and take a short walk off a long bridge. Next up, Diego Costa needs more protection, and Conte was vehemently defending him yesterday. You know, people were saying he should have been given a 2nd yellow card for a so-called dive when Fabianski basically shoulder barged him off the ball on the edge of the area. For me, that was not a dive, and Conte's right. You know, throughout the whole of that game yesterday, Costa was getting hacked and fouled and kicked every time he got the ball. I think 3 Swansea players ended up getting bookings for fouls on Diego. So yes, he needs more protection. And a little stat for you, because I know you love stats. Diego has become the sixth fastest player in Premier League history to reach 35 goals. So he's reached 35 goals in a quicker period of time than Suarez or Aguero. So well done, Diego. Keep it up. Number 2 is Oscar. Seems to have a new lease of life, and I'm so pleased about this one. Now, you may remember me, over the years, over the months, criticising Oscar in times gone past, purely because I've been frustrated by him. I know how good he is on his day, and too often in a Chelsea shirt he's sort of looked like he wants to be elsewhere. But yesterday he was pulling the strings, and I think that Conte's got him playing in a slightly different position to what he's been playing for us for the last couple of years. We've been used to seeing him a bit further up the pitch, playing in that kind of number 10 role, or sometimes, especially last season, out wide on the wings. Conte's bringing him a little bit deeper. He's playing in a traditional number 8 role, a kind of box-to-box defending as well as attacking, and I think that really suits him. The player himself came out yesterday and said he's really happy with the way things are developing under Conte, and that his number 8 role is his favourite position. Now, whether he's ever going to match the heights of our previous number 8, Frank Lampard, is highly unlikely. But yesterday he had a great game, and the setup for Diego Costa's first goal was absolutely out of this world. The ball was up in the air. He had defenders around him. He had absolutely no right to win the ball. He somehow skillfully just sort of controlled it out of the air and then laid it off first time to Costa, who then wrapped in a first time finish. It was great play from Oscar, and that was his 195th appearance for Chelsea. It's hard to believe he's been with us for that long, but 195, he's nearly at the 200 club, and I think if we can get more of these performances out of him, then Chelsea's title push is going to look all the more positive this year. So point number 3, and it's a little bit of a negative one, I'm going to go with calamity Courtois. Now, as much as I like Thibaut, I think he's a fantastic shot stopper. He's a young man. He's got lots of improvements to do, and I do believe he will become, if he isn't already, one of the best goalies in the world. However, for me, at this moment in time, at this moment in his career, there's too many lapses in concentration from him, and he's too rash. I don't know if I really, feel happy when I see him charging out of the area, trying to, shut a striker down. And it happened yesterday against Swansea. Don't forget, last season, Courtois got a red card against Swansea. This season, again, a rash challenge on Sigurdsson on the edge of the area, inside the area, gave a penalty away, got a yellow card, could have got a red, and he just sort of put us under pressure against the run of play when at that period we looked to be cruising. So I just want a little bit more concentration from you, Thibaut. I know you've got the minerals to be the best there is, but keep your head screwed on and don't fanny around on the ball so much. Just get rid of it. Point number 4 is our shaky defence. It's still looking a little rickety, and you know, Antonio Conte will be pulling his hair out on this one because, as we know, Italian managers, they like a tight defence. Conte's done that previously at Juventus. He's done that with Italy at the Euros, and he'll be looking at our back line at the moment, and he won't be pleased with what he's seeing. Now, Gary Cahill, yes, he was unlucky. I mean, that goal should never, ever, ever have stood when Leroy Fer come through the back of him. He's whacked him once on the right leg, then for good measure, he's whacked him again on the left leg. Amazingly, the referee, who was miles away, has sort of missed the whole incident or didn't feel like a foul had been committed. And, you know, Fer runs through to score the goal. Courtois, by the way, I feel should have done a bit better there when he came to close him down. He got easily nutmegged. But Gary Cahill, yes, he got fouled, but he looked a bit dithering on the ball when Terry squared it to him. And maybe, he's got eyes looking on the bench. He knows that David Luiz is sitting there. David Luiz is eyeing up that position. So maybe that had something to do with Gary Cahill maybe looking a little bit shaky yesterday. I felt sorry for the boy. You know, I saw him on Match of the Day afterwards. He came out and did a passionate sort of defence of himself, really, saying that he'd been unfairly fouled, that the referee had got it massively wrong. And, you know, if I felt like he was going to burst into tears in front of the Match of the Day cameras because you could tell it hurt him so much. And he knows that it's the smallest little mistakes like this that A, can cost you a title when it comes to, you know, the end of the season time, but B, can lose you a place in the starting lineup. So he'll be nervous that Luiz is sort of sitting on the bench and eager to take his place. However, Cahill may find himself partnering up with David Luiz, you know, this coming Friday when Liverpool come to Stamford Bridge, because JT was seen leaving the stadium yesterday on crutches. He got a knock on the ankle right in the end of the game in injury time. Now, hopefully, it's not a bad one. Conte's called him a warrior, and we know he's a warrior, so hopefully he can shrug it off and be fit by Friday. But if not, Cahill will have a chance to redeem himself, and David Luiz will have a chance for his second debut to show us what he's all about again. So point number 5 is to have faith in the Antonio Conte way. So we are 4 games in. We've won 3. We've drawn 1, so we're sitting relatively pretty in second place, and you can see the subtle changes that Conte's trying to implement slowly take place. I'm talking about the pressing, closing down, pressing, and you saw time and time again in yesterday's game against Swansea that we were hurrying them into mistakes. You know, there were lots of unforced errors, and the likes of Kante and N'Golo Kante, what a diamond this boy is. He's just in everybody's face, giving no one any chance, any time on the ball, any chance to do anything creative. Because as soon as they're receiving it, he is like snapping away like a Yorkshire Terrier at the back of their ankles, trying to hassle them into a mistake. And time again yesterday, we were reaping the rewards from that. Kante's buzzing about, a ball would get loose, get to someone like Matic or Hazard, and then again, we would be off on the attack. So we can see these training ground tactics, if you like, starting to take fruition on the pitch, which is great. We're dominating games, but my fear at the moment is early days of this season are telling me domination, you know, doesn't count for anything because we're being far too wasteful up front. You know, how many times already this season has Diego Costa had to save us in the final few minutes? And then again, yesterday, we needed to rely on him after going 2-1 down. We were so dominant in the first half, and even right up until they scored their penalty, we were bossing the game. We had it in our pocket, and you know, we created chances. It wasn't like we were just sort of knocking it about and, you know, not doing anything with the ball. We looked lively. We looked like we wanted to get it into the back of the net, but we were just wasteful. You know, Hazard had a couple of great chances. Costa had a couple, and you know, we really need to start converting these chances and, you know, not giving teams the opportunity to get back in at us and cause us the problems like Swansea did yesterday. Well then guys, they were my 5 things that we learnt from our visit to Swansea. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Remember, blue's a colour.
Alright guys, welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. This is my post-match review where Chelsea have just drawn against Swansea at the Liberty Stadium 2-2. I'm really disappointed guys. I honestly thought we were going to come here and win comfortably actually. I don't think Swansea...